3 reasons why you may be struggling with confidence in your SEO career with Adrijana Vujadin. The In Search SEO podcast is brought to you by Rank Ranger, the all-in-one SEO platform that helps scale your business through data and analytics. Hey, it's David. Are you ambitious in your SEO career but struggling with confidence? Have no fear. That's what we're going to be helping you with today, with a lady who teaches SEO people how to become more confident in their careers as well as their personal life. In addition to being a coach, she's also SEO manager for a firm. A warm welcome to the In Search SEO podcast, Adrijana Vujadin.
Hello, David.
Hey, Adrijana. Well, thanks so much for joining us. Well, you can find Adrijana over at adrianavujadin.com. So, Adrijana, why offer coaching for SEOs about confidence?
Yeah, because that's actually my story, how I became confident, since I was struggling with that a lot. I was having all these stressful situations, imposter syndrome, anxiety for a couple of years. And then I wanted to give up actually after my biggest burnout of my life. And then I decided to something needs to be changed. And I found that change in the changing of the mindset and the attitude while you are working, because I love the SEO and I still love it, but I just couldn't handle all these kinds of stress that we are having every day. So I did a lot of different courses, mindset sessions. I was reading hundreds of books just to improve that mindset and how I need to think to actually be confident, to gain that confidence. And then I realized that a lot of people around me are struggling with the same thing, but what I see in the SEO industry that there is no coach for it. And even worse, we have a kind of negative tendency about the coaching, about the mindset, all these words. And then I realized that actually that is not true, because we really need to have these kinds of coaching sessions because that is, I can't say only way, but that is a faster way how you can become confident, because I did it in the same way. But people don't need to wait for a year or more to actually become confident, to get rid of all these stressful situations. They can do with me just in a couple of months. So I found a purpose in that. So I'm offering that even nobody in the SEO industry don't do that, at least in the way how I'm handling these coaching sessions specified for the SEO professionals.
Yeah, this will be useful for many SEOs, I'm sure, even though SEOs may not want to admit it. There are some SEOs that are struggling and don't want to admit it, and some are happy to seek help. I guess the majority of people just suffer in silence a little bit. And you say that SEOs who are ambitious about their careers but often lack that confidence often do so because of 3 reasons. So starting off with number 1, you're overwhelmed by SEO updates and technical learning because it always makes you feel that you don't know enough.
Yeah. And that is actually, I would say, the biggest of the reasons, why you are so stressed in the SEO jobs, because SEO professionals are very passionate about SEO, but with the kind of the industry, especially with the recent Google updates and a lot of changes are happening in the SEO industry. So people are just tend to stay up to date with all these information, but there are so many contradiction information, you need to learn, and every day you're learning new things, technical things, content things, updates things. Now we have AI, and it's just becoming overwhelming for everything, because in the past we had just few major updates during the year, and now we are having just every month, almost every week. And then people are putting all these things and expectations. I really need to know them all now, today. So then stress is coming, because it's just impossible, especially for the people who are just few years in the SEO industry, and because we are lacking like so much things, even do I. But what I want to highlight here is actually when you know and when you learn how to handle all these changes, how to handle all these like new things, updates, then you are becoming more confident. So you are feeling good in your SEO job, and like there is always a space for learning. But the most important thing is actually to be good today, to have that inner peace, to be allowed for the future to grow and learn in your SEO career.
Yeah, I reckon SEOs probably spend too much time trying to educate themselves. I mean, if someone is perhaps an independent SEO client or even an SEO manager in a company, obviously they have to stay up to date with what's happening. But at the end of the day, they have to deliver their work either for their company, their clients, whether they're self-employed or working for a large agency. Is there a reasonable amount of time per week that you recommend focusing on learning versus actually doing your job?
Yeah, I wouldn't say like I don't have any kind of like this recommendation, but what I would recommend is actually that is depending on the period of time that you are in. For example, SEO specialists in the first years, like definitely they are learning more than SEO like managers after like 5 or 6 years, because they will also like different level of knowledge what they need. But what I want to recommend is actually to find and to have that plan what you need to work on to get what you want to be in the future. Because depending on the different careers paths, you will have different kind of skills that you really need to acquire to be that expert in the field what you want. So depending on what you want and where you want to go, you will have that amount for different kind of skills that you want to require. And here, what is very important to know what you want to be. So when you are learning all these things, that you are actually learning just for that specific career path that you are looking for.
Just in time learning.
Yeah, because if you are just spending time on the learning some backlink techniques or something like that, but you're seeing yourself as a technical expert in the future, like you're not using and you're not leveraging your learning time good, because if you want to be a technical expert, like all these things needs to be really in the focus of technical things. Definitely you can put some of the percentage for the learning other things, but there is no need for knowing everything, because as you know, like SEO is just when you're learning, you will see just like how much you don't know actually. So I'm very efficient about when you're learning, learn what you will need, not just like let go everything.
Yeah, great point. So learn what's relevant and suitable for your client at the moment and going to make them satisfied, going to improve your current situation at the same time as progressing your general knowledge slowly. But stop comparing yourself against other people who are many more years into their career. So if you're only 1 year or 3 years into your career, stop expecting to be at the same knowledge levels as someone who's 20 years into an SEO career.
Yeah, I love that. I love that you mentioned the comparing, because when we did like we were comparing ourselves to other SEO specialists. But what I realized with my clients, when they are comparing themselves to the other people who are like far away and like with a lot of years in the experience, the goal is actually, if you're just comparing yourself, definitely you will find that actually you are not good enough as he. Even it's almost impossible to actually grade knowledge that you have, and especially to grade knowledge of the people who are knowing just like from the internet or from the LinkedIn. So almost we are doing like almost impossible thing, grading someone's knowledge and comparing to our knowledge. And another thing here with the comparing is actually what I want to accomplish with this comparing to the others, because I think completely different question needs to be here, like why I'm comparing myself to the others. Because if that is a goal where I want to see myself in the future, then my question should be just like redirection, like 101 redirection to the what I need to learn and what kind of skills I need to require to be in the position what I want to be. And then you're seeing like in your body, it's completely different feeling, because if you're comparing yourself to the others, then like it's bad feeling, you're not good enough, it's stressed. But if you are redirecting the question, like what I need to do to be where I want, it's like more, it's totally different energy, and like it's more inspirational energy to accomplish these things that you want to achieve.
And the second reason why SEOs struggle with confidence is they don't know how to handle stressful situations.
Yeah. And every day you can see, like, it doesn't matter if you are working in-house SEO or like you are more client-facing agency consulting work, SEO professionals are handling like a lot of different stress on the daily basis. Here, what I want to highlight is actually that stress has a different meaning for different people, because for some of the people, they will be like anxious. Some of them, they will be like nervous, panicking. Some of them, they were just like sweating, or some of them, they will just like be overwhelmed by all these tasks, requirements from the clients or like from the internal team. So first, you need to identify what is actually stress for you. And once you are identify all these situations when you are having like these stress, then you need to come up with the solutions as a preparation for the next time when you have this stressful situation. Because it's very hard when you are having this stress. It's very hard in the first glance to handle that in the moment. But if you prepare myself like, hey, I know I identify this for me as a stressful situation, then went to some steps like how to handle these situations, and like, is there any true in these kinds of situations? Are they really stressful? Because we are aware, like we are stressing ourselves in a lot of situations that are not even stressful, but it's just the way how our brain used to think.
Yeah. Whenever I feel slightly stressed, I think of a quote by a scientist called Carl Sagan. And Carl Sagan used to talk about the planet Earth, and how it's so insignificant. It's a pale blue dot in space. It's a tiny little pale blue dot in space, and there's a picture of that. And if you consider, the quote continues about how all of humankind was on that pale blue dot. It's just a tiny little blue dot. And all the grains of sand on a beach or in the universe, and how insignificant my current situation is compared with what has gone on before. And that's not to say it's not important, but if you realize that what you're doing actually in the grand scheme of things and the things that are really important in life isn't that significant, then for me it makes me feel better.
Yeah, and it's so true, because once you know your core values, why you are doing like these things, and what I used to say to my clients, actually, we are not doctors, so like people are not going to die. So
Yeah.
just like to reduce that stress, like, okay, it's stressful situation, but actually when we are aware of all these other things about ourselves, because it's impossible to overcome the stress if you are not aware of the all other perspective that you have, and the places like from the core values, from the things of the how to overcome imposter syndrome, where you are today, where you want to be, like just like to be present and say like, hey, okay, I have a problem, but like I'm not going to panic. Like there is a different ways how I can handle, but it's not just like only way to be the stress, because you can overcome that challenge even though if you are not stressed, and that's our goal.
Yeah, be present's a great one as well. Number 3 is you are confused about which SEO career path you need to choose in order to grow. So how do you become less confused about that?
Yeah. So by testing actually, and the big thing here is actually because we are confused, our brain is also confused and we don't know where we go. But once you decide like where you will really want to go, and doesn't matter if that goal has been changed, for example, in the next year, you accomplished a lot and you learn a lot. So for example, in my experience, for the first 2 years, I really wanted to be like technical expert. Like I didn't see myself as an SEO manager. I didn't see myself as a coach for SEO professional, not at all. But I made a plan, like what I need to accomplish to become the technical expert. And then after 2 years, I realized like, I'm fine with that, and I'm so happy that actually I have learned so many technical skills and I'm feeling okay with the technical skills. But now I really want to do something else. And then I redirected my career path to be a SEO manager. And when I became SEO manager, I realized that I really enjoy working with people. I really want to mentor another like SEO specialists that recently joined the industry. And then after that experience, I realized that actually I really enjoying the being coach and having these mindset sessions to actually help people how to become confident, how to get rid of stress, how to overcome imposter syndrome. So my approach here is like, doesn't matter like what you currently want. You need to be there to see like how it feels, and definitely it will help you to decide where you want to be and see yourself in the next level.
Great advice. Well, let's finish off with
the Pareto Pickle.
So Pareto says that you can get 80% of your results from 20% of your efforts. What's one SEO activity that you would recommend that provides incredible results for modest levels of effort?
I would say that soft skills. Actually, probably you wouldn't think of the soft skills like that, but what I see in my experience and in the experience of my clients is actually the soft skills. They are great for improving the impact and all other aspects of the SEO in your personal life if you develop your soft skills to the level which wasn't before. So definitely I would go with the soft skills.
Superb. I've been your host, David Bain. You can find Adrijana Vujadin over at adrianavujadin.com. Adriana, thanks so much for being on the InSearch SEO podcast.
Thank you so much for having me.
And thank you for listening. Check out all the previous episodes and sign up for a free trial of the Rank Ranger platform over at rankranger.com.